Carry out. To execute or implement a plan, policy, or order. Synonym for carry out. Execute, implement, fulfill, perform, conduct, accomplish. The government promised to carry out reforms to improve healthcare. The CEO instructed the management team to carry out the new company-wide restructuring plan without delay. It's essential to carefully plan and coordinate before carrying out any major renovation projects in the building. Crack down. To take strong and decisive action against illegal or undesirable activities. Synonym for crack down. Clamp down, suppress, curb, rein in, enforce, police. The government announced they would crack down on illegal drug trafficking by increasing border security and implementing stricter penalties. The school administration decided to crack down on bullying behavior by implementing a zero-tolerance policy. The government decided to crack down on corruption in the police force. Phase in. To introduce or implement something gradually or in stages. Synonym for phase in. Introduce gradually, implement in stages, roll out, gradually introduce incrementally, phase gradually. The government plans to phase in the new tax regulations over the next 3 years. The company decided to phase in a new software system gradually to minimize disruption to workflow. The City Council plans to phase in the new recycling program over the next 6 months to ensure a smooth transition for residents. Draw up. To create or prepare a document, plan, or proposal. Synonym for draw up. Draft, prepare, write, formulate, create, compose. The legal team was tasked with drawing up the contract for the merger between the two companies. After extensive discussions, the committee finally drew up a proposal for the new community center. The committee drew up a new budget proposal for the government. Rule out. To eliminate or reject something as a possibility. Synonym for rule out. Exclude, eliminate, dismiss, discard, reject, disqualify. The doctor advised ruling out certain foods from the patient's diet to identify potential allergies. Despite initial suspicions, the investigation ruled out foul play in the CEO's sudden death. The government ruled out the option of military intervention. Step down. To resign or voluntarily leave a position of authority. Synonym for step down. Resign, retire, quit, abdicate, withdraw, surrender. The pressure from shareholders forced the CEO to step down from his position at the company. After years of service, the mayor announced his decision to step down from office and retire. The Prime Minister decided to step down after losing the confidence of the Parliament. Back down. To withdraw from a position or decision due to pressure or opposition. Synonym for back down. Retreat, yield, surrender, concede, give in, relent. In the face of mounting criticism, the government had no choice but to back down from its controversial tax proposal. The government backed down from its plan to increase taxes after public protests. The union threatened to strike, and the management eventually backed down from their decision to cut employee benefits. Hold off. To delay or postpone. Synonym for hold off. Postpone, delay, put off, defer, stall, procrastinate. The board decided to hold off on approving the budget until further financial projections were available. The government decided to hold off on the new infrastructure project until further studies were conducted. Despite the urgency, the team agreed to hold off on making a decision until they had more information. Fill in. To provide information or details that are missing. Synonym for fill in. Complete, provide details, supplement, add information, enter, populate. The government filled in the gaps in the legislation to address loopholes. The new employee was asked to fill in for the receptionist while she was on vacation. Can you please fill in the missing details on this form before submitting it? Phase out. To gradually reduce or eliminate something over time. Synonym for phase out. Eliminate gradually, reduce over time, withdraw, wind down, scale down, taper off. The government announced plans to phase out single-use plastics over the next 5 years to reduce environmental pollution. The government plans to phase out subsidies for fossil fuels to promote renewable energy. The company decided to phase out outdated machinery and replace it with more efficient technology. Bring in. To introduce or implement something new, such as a law or regulation. Synonym for bring in. Introduce, implement, enact, integrate. Introduce a law. Institute. The company decided to bring in a new management team to improve efficiency and productivity. The government brought in stricter measures to combat air pollution. The mayor promised to bring in stricter regulations to curb air pollution in the city. Roll out. To introduce something new or launch it on a large scale. Synonym for roll out. Launch, introduce, release, unveil, initiate, debut. The government decided to roll out a nationwide vaccination campaign to combat the spread of a deadly virus. The tech company announced plans to roll out its latest smartphone model across 20 countries simultaneously. The government rolled out a nationwide vaccination campaign to combat the spread of the virus. Stand for. To represent or advocate for a particular principle, idea, or group. Synonym for stand for. Advocate, represent, support, uphold, champion, symbolize. The politician made it clear that he stands for transparency and accountability in government. The organization stands for equality and social justice for all citizens. The party stands for social justice and equality. Crack open. To begin discussions or negotiations about a sensitive issue. Synonym for crack open. Initiate discussions, start negotiations, open up, begin talks, commence dialogue, launch negotiations. The two countries decided to crack open negotiations on a long-standing territorial dispute. It's time to crack open discussions about the growing income inequality in our society. The government cracked open talks with opposition leaders to resolve the crisis. Team up. To collaborate or work together, often used in the context of different levels of government. Synonym for team up. Collaborate, join forces, partner, work together, unite, cooperate. The local and state governments decided to team up to tackle the issue of homelessness in the region. The local and federal governments teamed up to provide disaster relief. The two companies decided to team up on a joint project to develop renewable energy solutions. Lay out. To present or explain something clearly and in detail. Synonym for lay out. Present, explain, describe, outline, detail, illustrate. The CEO laid out the company's strategic plan for the next 5 years during the annual shareholder meeting. The minister laid out the government's economic plan in a televised speech. The professor laid out the key concepts of the course in the first lecture to give students a clear understanding of what to expect. Hold on to. To maintain or keep possession of something, often used in the context of power or control. Synonym for hold on to. Retain, keep, cling to, maintain possession of, preserve, grasp. The ruling party hopes to hold on to power in the upcoming election. Despite the economic downturn, the company managed to hold on to its top talent by offering competitive salaries and benefits. The dictator was determined to hold on to power at any cost, resorting to brutal tactics to suppress dissent. Fill out. To complete a form or document with required information. Synonym for fill out. Complete, populate, supply information for, answer, fill in, satisfy. Students were asked to fill out a survey about their experience with online learning during the pandemic. Citizens were asked to fill out a census form to provide demographic data to the government. Please fill out this form with your personal details before your interview. Step up. To increase or intensify efforts, often in response to a crisis or urgent situation. Synonym for step up. Increase, heighten, escalate, intensify, ramp up, boost. In response to the recent surge in demand, the company decided to step up production of essential supplies. The government stepped up security measures after the terrorist attack. The government announced plans to step up efforts to combat rising crime rates in urban areas. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.